What's up, guys? The artist is here, and we're back with another episode of unnecessary commentary. By this point, hopefully, if I've done this right, you should have heard episode one by now. And now we're on episode three. And for this episode, as of this recording, I literally just got done watching this movie the other day, like 2 days ago, I think. And I thought it would be a perfect episode for unnecessary commentary. So today, we are watching Revenge of the Nerds Part 2 because it's very different from its original from its predecessor, I should say. The predecessor was rated R. This is PG-13, so it's a little different, and I really love it. It's very different from its first one, but I still love it. So, if you are watching along with me, um, I'm about to hit play here. I'll tell you when to hit play. And if you are not watching along, just sit back and enjoy me talking about Revenge of the Nerds. I try and tell you what's happening in the movie too, while trying to tell you some facts and everything. So get comfy and everything. So if you are watching along, if you're watching the DVD or watching it as of this recording, it was available on YouTube for free, like their official, But if it's not, then hey, find it somewhere. Watch along if you like. So if you are watching along, I am hitting play on the DVD now. There we go. And now it's okay. It's taking its sweet ass time. This is an old DVD. This is like the original DVD release of this movie, where it came with Revenge of the Nerds 1 and 2 on a double disc here. Apparently, this has special features. Apparently, oh, just a trailer. I was about to say, I saw the extra features on the menu, and I was like, I don't remember this having features. So, all right, there's that good old 20th Century Fox logo here, and a great cast of characters here. Robert Carradine, Timothy Busfield, Larry B. Scott, um, Curtis Armstrong, of course, Bradley Whitford. Great cast. We get a right out the gate. We get a Star Wars reference here. We get the Skolnick pen protector there coming in, and we get a nice little recap of the previous movie. Um, and we're gonna get right off the bat, like once we see Lewis and um, fuck, I always forget his name. But once we see them, we get like one of my favorite jokes of the movie. You um, and we get Lambda, Lambda, Lambda. You know, I really wish like more of the original nerds came back, like Takashi. Really wish Takashi was in this. That would have been cool. And there was another one they're missing, aren't they? I feel like they're missing another one, but I feel like Takashi would have like, really livened this movie up. And like I said, this movie was originally they were originally going with R. They had nude scenes filmed for this movie, but once they decided to go with a more family friendly, I wouldn't say family friendly, but once they were going with a PG-13 rating, they kind of got rid of the nude scenes. I read like one of the actresses in the movie. Apparently, she brought all of her friends to come see her scene in the movie, and then that's how she found out she was cut when they went there. So, um, I also have the whole box set of this movie, but I'm watching the original DVD release of it. And we hear, and we're seeing the photo of Betty from the first movie, and apparently the lady who played Betty in the first one, she refused to come back because the original script included her cheating on Lewis, and she felt like that was a slight against her character. So then they rewrote it to not include that, and she still refused to come back. And then the funny thing is that like Lewis kisses Sonny at the end, and I'm just like, so you have Lewis cheat on her instead? Like, there's fucking Poindexter throwing all of his medicine and fucking a roll of toilet paper in there, which I mean actually kind of works out considering what happens at the hotel later. You and to my knowledge, I think these are the only two movies where Timothy Busfield is credited as Timothy Busfield. Here we go. We got Larry B. Scott here. You know, Lamar Latrell is such a wild character to me. Like I really wish we could have got like a solo Lamar movie. I would have liked to have seen what this cat does like when he's not hanging out with the nerds. And here's Worms or which timeline wise, this movie takes place a year after the original. And I have to go back and watch the original again, but I'm fairly certain that Wormser was listed as 8 or 9 in that original movie. In this movie, he clearly says he's 15. So I don't know. I guess they just adjusted the timeline for his age and shit. I have no idea. And there's our man. There's Booger with just like tons and tons. Why are the condoms open already? Is my question. You know, he has condoms that are closed and ready to go and shit like that. But like he also has some that are just open. Like I ain't no safety expert, but I'm pretty sure that's a safety hazard. Lewis and Gilbert. That's his name. Gilbert. That's his fucking name. Here comes my favorite fucking joke. And you know what? Believe it or not, out of all the years I've watched this fucking movie, I just realized the other day that they were still in the nerd house from the fucking first movie. I always thought they were in Gilbert's house or something. You know? But here we go. We see that Gilbert broke his leg. And he feels stupid that he broke his leg playing chess. Don't get down on yourself. That was a very tricky move. Like, it's like one of the best jokes in the fucking movie, man. Oh, I love that joke. I must be the dumbest guy to break his leg playing chess. Hey, don't be down on yourself. That was a tricky move. You know, but apparently, the guy playing Gilbert, he also didn't want to be in this movie because he felt the first one told a complete story. He didn't feel the need for a sequel. And funny enough, there was like 4 of them, 4 movies. But that's why his part is so reduced in this movie. He has one part here at the beginning, and I think one part later, towards the end of the movie. But although I mean, it's not that you don't feel his absence, in my opinion. I think the movie still works without him. I think you could have cut him completely, and it still would have worked. You know, but we get Lewis's dad here. And I love how like Lewis and his dad are like one and the same. That's a nice little detail. And here's a little fun fact for you. So if you're listening, here's a fun fact. There's an episode of Lizzie McGuire. Robert Carradine plays the dad in that show, and apparently there's like a joke in an episode where apparently he used to be a nerd, and if you freeze frame it on that, his name tag actually says Lewis. It's a shot from him in Revenge of the Nerds. It's a nice little Easter egg there. It's in the first season somewhere. Here's this primitive fucking fax machine that they're using. You know. And now they're all right. They're about. I love that the cruise control is set at 35, and then they're just like, let's let's go to 37. Like I fucking love that. I don't remember, man. Did cars have fucking cruise control in the 80s? If they did, they must have been very primitive because, like, I don't know. I wasn't around. You know. See, and there's that fucking robot from the first movie. And, again, I always thought this was at Gilbert's fucking house. And then, like, I saw the background the other day, and I was like, oh, fuck, this is at the Lambda house. There's our man, Donald Gibb, playing, returning as Ogre. And apparently they wanted Ted McGinley to come back, too, but then they cast our man, Bradley Whitford as the antagonist of, Roger, and we'll get to Roger here soon here. Booger wearing a Who Farted shirt. Little Booger in his one-track mind. He's like, I don't care if we're waiting in line for this plane. I gotta go try and talk this woman up. And that's a great opening line he gives here. Excuse me, miss, I don't plan to sleep with another woman until I'm resting between, head resting between your creamy thighs. He gets slapped for it, thinks about it for a second, and goes right for it again. You got to admire the fucking, the persistency of it. He went for it, man. I like how they were all VIPs until they got to the hotel. Like, the hotel knew. See, and it's funny because there's 2 chapters of the Lambdas. There's the black guys, the brothers, and then you got the nerds here. And, like, how do they know precisely that they were these guys? We're VIPs. Very immense penises. Oh, man. Such a lot of great one-liners in this fucking movie. It's pretty much why I decided to do this movie for unnecessary commentary. Poindexter, fucking. Poindexter with a lot of great sight gags, just running into shit. Like, for a long time, I never knew that was the same actor who played Wormser in the first fucking movie. You know? Oh my god. Fucking Poindexter with all the medicine. And here's a little sight gag that, like, again, went unnoticed by me till now. Like, the limo driver's waiting for them to all give him their bags and everything. And he's looking like, what the fuck? They all take their bags into the back of the limo, except for Lamar. He puts, like, one bag in the bag. And here we go. We got the 38 special. Back to paradise here as they head to the fucking hotel. Directed by Joe Roth here. Robert Carradine. There we go. We get the cast call here. Listen to that song. That song fucking fire. Revenge of the Nerds 2, Paradise. Now, I will mention them real quick. I will say the third one is actually decent to watch. The fourth one is kind of hard to sit through, but it's all right. Timothy Busfield, Poindexter here. Courtney Thorne-Smith, I believe, who plays Sonny in this movie, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew Cassis? I forgot who that is. Donald Gitt. Bradley Whitford playing Roger here. And Ed Lauder. I think that's the, oh, here we go. Here's Booger screaming, I love you! He's just screaming the hotel number. 69! Oh, James Hong is in this movie. I forgot about James Hong. And Anthony Edwards as, oh man. And then they rate his like pickup line, which I wonder if they really did that back then. I doubt they still do it now, but that would have been fucking dope, if they really did this back then. That would have been like my main purpose of going. If I could just scream like fucking one-liners and they rate them, I'd be driving around the fucking block all day, just trying to scream one-liners and shit, just trying to get like a 10. And that song is just so fucking iconic. That's like one of the things I remember most about this movie for like the longest time was this fucking song, this scene. I don't know what it was. I mean, I remember other stuff from this movie as well. There were like, because I grew up with this movie. I was a kid growing up, obviously. But like you just remember blips of things, and like this was one of the things that really stood out when I was watching it younger, growing up and everything. Take me back to paradise. All right, I just had to give you a little bit right there. Sometimes, man, I'd be rocking that song in the car, man. I'd be putting that song on and another great gag. Like, look at the size of those coconuts, referring to titties, and there's actually coconuts. I'm like, wow, those are pretty big. And again, another great sight gag. Like, Booger takes off his jeans just to reveal another pair of jean shorts underneath his fucking jeans. It just, oh man, And here we go. We're at the hotel now. All the guys are gonna go hang by the beach. You gotta love these 80s bikinis. Look at them, man. They don't make bikinis like this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Miami. Oh, no, not Miami. I'm sorry. Fort Lauderdale. That's where they are. I don't know why I always think they're in Miami. I think they mentioned Miami a couple times. I have no idea. But my thing with Booger is that, like fucking, he's rocking a fucking Who Farted shirt with holes in it, mind you. I believe, is that really holes or is that part of the shirt? No, it's holes. And, and yet fucking, he thinks he's going to get some. Now, and here's another thing I never noticed about this movie. See, that's one thing about I like about watching movies from my youth, is that, like, I always discover shit in them that, like, I never noticed before. And the couple right here that, that just hit Lewis and everything, there's, like, 3 major parts with them in it. You know, and I never noticed that until I watched it the other day. I was like, there's a part here, there's a part coming up, and then there's one towards the end that I was just like, wow, okay. I didn't realize, they had like three separate things in this movie for like little side characters, Fucking Poindexter. Poindexter talking to a fucking cardboard cutout. That's not even that fucking pretty anyway. You know? The thing is that nobody has the fucking heart to tell him. You know? They're just like, she's kind of the quiet type, right? Like, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna get her a drink though. I like how he added the please to the end. Like, how do you say bite my crank in Spanish? And he says it, and he adds the fucking por favor. And the only bar out there is a pool bar. Poindexter just fucking walks right in, fucking full suit, full hat. You know, that's determination right there. You thought Booger's determination with the same pickup line with something? That's fucking determination right there. Homeboy just walked into a pool bar, full suit, shoes, didn't remove nothing, just walked in. And here we are. We're introduced to I wouldn't say a new nerd, but what's his name? Stan? No, Stanley. No, I forgot. Here we go. 2 rum and cokes, please. And I'll give the bartender credit. Didn't bat a fucking eye. Yo, he walked up and was like, 2 rum and cokes. He was like, all right, and just started fucking pouring drinks, man. You gotta give him the credit here. See, and again, homeboy fucking packed a picture of his lovely lady, you know, and he gets mesmerized by it. I mean, I guess that's okay. I guess it's okay to look and not touch, I guess. But I mean, like later on, he touches. He kisses her like at the end of the movie and shit. And um, and again, the whole crux of like Betty, his girlfriend, not returning was because she cheats on him. And then what's he do? He clearly fucking kisses this chick at the end of the movie. You know, I don't know. Maybe they just did it just a slider. I don't know. But she actually returns in the third movie. I think they're married in the third movie because like that's like the story of the third one. Like Lewis is no longer a nerd. He's like a fucking businessman and everything. He has a ponytail and shit. Here we go. We find out all their um, reservations are canceled. Man, what is the other nerd I'm forgetting? I swear I feel like I'm forgetting somebody because I know there was Takashi and another one that like didn't come back for this movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not misremembering that. Because like Takashi was funny in the first movie. I think I have a frush. Well, I have 2 kings and 2 kings beats a frush. You know. And I believe this is Courtney Thorne Smith here as Sunny. I believe. Courtney Thorne Smith, who would go on to be in Carrot Top's movie, chairman of the board. And here we go, the acting manager here, which, I mean, like, I know this was the 80s, and you could get away with a lot more shit in businesses than you could today. Everything's so fucking PC and everything like that. But I'm pretty sure the shit that this guy does it would fucking go against some Geneva conventions, let alone fucking business practices. You know? They eventually fucking dumped these guys on a fucking island. I'm pretty sure that's illegal somewhere. That's what is it? What is it? Illegal kidnapping or that would be classified as kidnapping if I'm not mistaken. You know. But like this chick here, the Sunny. I mean, like, why she's stuck with this job for like the whole movie up until like she gets thrown on the island with the nerds is fucking beyond me. I love how that's their fucking their come on. Like they just see 2 girls walking on the beach and Booger and Worms are no pickup line this time. No pickup line. They just fucking book ass after them, which is great. Instead of just like, hey, how you doing? Or hey, I'm not gonna sleep with another woman until I'm resting between your thighs. They just book ass. Fantastic. Oh, and there's actually like a percentage of people out there that don't like this movie. And I'm like, it's just as good as the original, in my opinion. I mean, like they take the nerds into a new, location and everything. They still have the same battle. They have to battle against the alpha betas. It's oh god, it's fantastic. I think the first two are like very perfect movies. I will say the third one, does have its issues. It does have a great cast in it. It has some great stand-up comedians, Morton Downey Jr. Um, and like I said, the fourth one, it kind of trails off there. And here we are, Mr. Bradley Whitford, who most people know probably as the villain in Billy Madison, and that's how I discovered him. And then it was this movie. I was just like, um, I was just, oh shit, Billy Madison guy, you know, and he's been an antagonist in a lot of movies. There's only like one movie I can think of where he actually plays like a somewhat decent guy, and that's like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and he plays like a stepfather in that. And I love Booker's setup here. He's like, let's leave this fucking dump, and it's like the shittiest fucking hotel. I mean, like, I've seen crime scenes that are fucking nicer than this. Even the taxi cab, like fucking. I feel like there's a missing scene there or something with that taxi cab because like even the taxi cab that pulled up to this place is a hunk of shit. Well, there's somebody checking out. They're dead, which is a great setup for a joke later. I love how he's just like, oh, it's been a heck of a party here. This place is just trashed. You know. Here we go. We get a Lucy or a Cuban type of voice here. Some about Poindexter's look there, just that blank stare looking at the hotel manager. Just I don't know, cracks me up. The Ricky Ricardo wing. This pool. And I love that she thinks the pool is just it's a okay. Throws that piece of chicken in there and it bubbles. Like what the fuck? I feel like the water boy in this is just like I will stay here, but like please don't let any human being go in that fucking pool. You know, in the sauna. Like and cute little joke here. Lamar's like, oh, I love dogs and everything. Dogs just fucking. Another great gag here. They're like, this is the gym, and it's just a hooker. Come on, gay. Just point. Oh, Poindexter has some great fucking looks in this movie. The Ricky Ricardo suite. Trouble getting the door open there? And then we're about to see James Hong for the first time here in this movie. Yep, here we go. Mr. James Hong. Playing Snotty. You know, because he can. What Booger does with burps and boogers, he does with snot. And they become chums later. We'll get back to more Snotty later. Apparently, James Hong was originally in line to be Sulu on Star Trek before it went to George Takei. There's the body outline. We know who was on the stretcher now. She's just walking over it like it's nothing. Put the rug over it. Don't worry about it. Magic carpet. I love how she says that. So good. Oh man. Like, can you imagine staying in a place this shitty? Like, oh my gosh. There'd be no way in hell I could stay there. Like, once I saw the room, I'd be like, great. I'd wait for her to leave, and I'd be like, I'm leaving. Like, time for me to go, pal. Why? Why on? Well, I mean, we didn't see him pack it, so I mean, I guess to be fair, Poindexter could have bought this like at some shop on the beach or something. Because I was like, where did this fucking metal detector come from? And I guess just to make the fucking scene on the island make sense later, you know. See, and right there, Roger even says like, "Oh, we trashed our house last year," so it doesn't make any fucking sense that Wormser is 15 years old in this movie. Because I'm fairly certain that Wormser was like 9. He couldn't be more than 9 in the last movie. I'm fairly certain of it. We have Ogre pissing in the background longer than fucking Jimmy Dugan and A League of Their Own. I believe he pisses for like a minute and 40 something seconds, something like that, or 23 seconds, something like that. Yeah. They're all just amazed back there. I love how they all just took a second to be like, huh? Like, really? Is he pissing this long? Yeah. Mm. And this was the genius plan, just to get him naked in front of a bunch of people. You know, and the only one that really ends up being, well, only one of them ends up being really disturbed by it, or like I wouldn't even say disturbed, like I would say embarrassed would be the better word here. Ugh. It's like when you call a redhead guy Blondie. When the fuck have we ever called a redheaded guy Blondie? You know, maybe calling a big guy Tiny, I could understand, but I have never fucking referred to a redheaded guy as fucking Blondie. You know, you know. I will say Bradley Whitford though as Roger. I mean, like he barely ages. Like when I mean, if you look at him in this movie and look at him in Billy Madison, you could make a good argument that those two movies were made back to back. You know, you would think like, fuck, man, he's the same age in these fucking movies. You know, look at that fucking door, man. Like, holy shit. Oh, Larry B. Scott's delivery of this line right here is just fantastic. He reads this line and then right here, it's like, here we go. Party, party, party. I don't know why. That's something that's always stuck with me too. Is the way he said party, party, party. You know, always great. Now we're gonna get to the humiliation scene. You know, and this is Booger's way of dressing up. Is just whatever he's got on and adding a badly drawn tie. Sorry, my phone went off there. You heard that? Oh, excuse me. See, Lewis is like me. I'd probably rock some shorts, but now here's the thing. They help the alpha betas had this all set up. They had to know precisely. It's one thing when the nerds are there, when the lambdas or whatever are there, but like they had to know precisely when they were walking up to start this little charade. You know, so they had to have this plan to the T. So I mean, the alpha betas may be antagonists in this movie, but they're very coordinated. You have to give them that. You know, love them or hate them, they're coordinated as fuck. And then all of a sudden, like Lamar's the one that steps up, like, "Oh, we need to go save her." They were all like, "Fuck it," you know, she's on her own, you know. But they realize that these are, you know, Seminole Indians still living in the area. Um, but again they had to like know that they were gonna follow him because like this plan by the Alpha Betas could have severely backfired. They could have just saw what they just saw, like saw the Alpha Betas taking the girl and just been like, "Fuck this, see you later," and left. So this plan could have completely backfired. You know, but yeah, I guess when you suspend your disbelief for a movie, that's what happens. Because I think in actuality, I've been like, bye, that's none of my business. Mm. Here we go. Why is Lamar so like? Okay, that's something I just noticed now. It's just like, why is Lamar so into like saving this chick all of a sudden? He's like, come on, guys. He gets the torch and he's leading the gang, and like, I find it really odd how all of a sudden he's the one that like, yeah, man, like let's roll. They're gonna make it look like he. See, I find it hard to believe that they didn't see the alligators until they turn on the lights here. See, they freak out when they see the gators. I find that a little hard to believe they didn't see that when crossing there. Now, did they find it a little hard to believe that she didn't scream when being thrown into the fire? Like, there's not like screams of agony. What now, Mr. Hero? Me? No question either, man. They're like, take your clothes off. They're like, okay. And they just start stripping. I'm like, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. And they said strip down, yet they did not strip all the way down. Roger just runs out of things to say as an Indian. Just like, get out of Florida. That's when Poindexter catches on. He's like, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Says, bite my crank and Seminole. But to be fair, would a Seminole Indian know what bite my crank really means? You know? Like, I mean, I'm not, I don't know. I think if Lamar coming back for his blouse. But yeah, I think if I said bite my crank to a Seminole Indian, I don't think they would know what bite my crank means. So, I mean, and the nerds learn that Ogre is back. But yeah, I mean, that's my point with that. I mean, it's a good way to, like, sniff them out. But, like, in all fairness, I think it could have been, like, we don't know what bite my crank means. But now, just on the other side of this wall, there's a fucking full restaurant. This whole restaurant don't hear the fucking insanity going on behind this wall. They don't hear like a fake sacrifice going on. They don't hear Ogre fucking some chick by the wall. They don't hear any of this and question it. You know? And they had to walk all the way back. And what kills me is that they walk out of this little gate right here. See, they come out of the gate, they walk down, and then right at the next opening, they walk in. Okay. No, okay. Now I'm looking at it. They couldn't. I was like, I'm pretty sure they could just walk to the next door through there, but they couldn't. Now I'm looking at it. Now they're gonna fight back against Adams again, and all I got was just a calm saying. He was just like, "Well, I'm not gonna give up." And his apology, "Hey, I'm sorry I snapped at you guys." It wasn't really like snapping. It was just more like, "Hey, I'm not gonna give up." You know, he apologizes for snapping. I think that happens in the first movie too. I think like something like that happens with Gilbert, and he does the same thing. I think. I could be misremembering that. It's been a while since I sat and watched the first one. It's been a long time. It's out there somewhere, but if you don't have the whole collection box set, I'd highly suggest picking it up and marathoning them. Like I said, the third and fourth ones start to get a little rough, but the first two are solid movies and everything. You know, and even on the first movie's DVD, there's a unsold pilot for a TV show of Revenge of the Nerds. So I'd check it out just for curiosity's sake. You know. Booger hears the sounds of Snotty. Another great sight gag coming up here. He's like, this room is a pigsty. The whole goddamn hotel's a pigsty. Like, why are you surprised by this one fucking room being a pigsty? Like, he walks into Snotty's room and he's just like, wow, this is a pigsty. Like, the whole fucking hotel has chickens roaming around. The pool is in disarray. Like, fucking, like, and you're surprised by this one fucking room that is a pigsty. You know? They call me Snotty. Here it is. He picks up this beer right here, blows a cigarette off of it, and then drinks it just so he can fucking demonstrate his belching. You know? No telling what was in that beer. You know, it could have been fucking piss for all he knew. But he just wanted to prove a point. And here comes a totally not ADR burp. But it's really weird seeing James Hong in this type of role. When you think James Hong, you don't think fucking Revenge of the Nerds too. You know what I'm saying? The mirror broke. So good. I'm pretty sure you're not going to get your deposit back for that mirror. Somebody's finally out boogered Booger. And I'm pretty... Doesn't Ted McGinley come back in the third one? I'm pretty sure he does. But Alpha Beta's here. Ogre does not have as much... to my knowledge, he does not have as much screen time in this one as he does the first one. But much like I said in the last episode about the spike-haired guy, you know, he makes the most of his screen time, especially towards the end, because he comes in play at the end here. And he makes the most of it. And it becomes, you know, quite funny. See, and here's that couple that we saw earlier, you know, standing in front of Lewis, you know. This is their second appearance, and we see them, I believe, one more time. I mean, we'll probably see one more. If we see him again, I'll point it out, but I'm fairly certain, like, we see him only one more time, you know. See, and here's the thing, like, this dude's mad at Chick here for giving away one fucking free night to a couple. One free night to a couple. And, like, he just drills her a new asshole for just giving away this one night. And she takes it. And then takes a slap on the ass for it. Again, it was the 80s. You know, you could slap a fucking female worker on the ass and, you know, you might, you know, 9 times out of 10 you'd get away with it. You know? He's just bowled out of the fucking hotel. Stewart, that's his fucking name. I'm sorry. He went to pick him up and then Sonny came out and he just drops her. I will say this about Courtney Thorne-Smith, at least in this movie, man. She has some pretty fucking eyes. Like, they're a bright fucking blue, and you can't help but fucking notice them in this movie. You know? And you see Lewis pulling up his pants a lot in this movie. Bam, there's one right there. I really should have been counting them in this movie. I want to see how many times he pulls up his pants here. Gotta hand it to Lewis, man. He waited for him to get off that phone. He could have been like, get off the phone, fucker. But he didn't. And then Roger took over. Ogre just fucking eating, not even just a gallon of ice cream. One of those fucking, like, I don't even know how many gallons it is. It's one of those ones you'd find at, like, Baskin Robbins or some shit. You know? One of the ones they scoop out of the gallon and everything like that. I like how they all got their moment to say something, and all Booger can add to the fucking proceedings is just like, yeah, so bite me. Booger can only add like those little quips and everything. All right, and they are setting up for another very memorable moment of this movie, the no on 15 moment, where they are telling everybody that you know people need to meet physical and mental requirements to be chartered in the Greek fraternities. Gotta hand it to Lambda because again, I feel like we're missing a scene here, but everybody has a table except for the nerd Lambdas, and then eventually they do get their own table. So eventually something must happen where they get their own table here. You know, what is Ogre doing in this magazine? He can't be doing a crossword puzzle. You know, they're setting up the mental thing here. He's reading off a fucking napkin, which that's something I didn't notice till the last time I watched it. And this is the one thing that fucking insults Booger. Like, again, the last scene, like Booger just adds like, yeah, bite me, and this is the scene where he's like, oh yeah, who decides this? Oh, it's a fucking coloring book. I didn't notice that till just now. Okay, that's what he's doing in that book. Because it just looked like he was intently looking at a book, and I was like, what is he doing? It's a fucking coloring book. See, this was a dirty move right here. He was like, I'll give you. Pulled up his pants again. But he's like, oh, I'll give you the mic right after this announcement. It's like, wet nighty contest. And this is 80s PG-13, so we get a smidge, just a smidget of nudity here. We get the wet nighties. We get a little bit of titty action, you know. I love how even the manager even fucking booked ass out there. Fantastic, you know. Yeah, here we go, wet nighty. There we go. Get them nice and wet. Mm. Now, the first movie had a very memorable musical sequence, you know, and I think that this one coming up here is right on par, you know. Again, like when growing up, I would remember, this bit, coming up here where they do the no on 15 type of song here. We're gonna fight fire with fire. I agree. Let's burn the hotel. Because again, that was like Booger's like knee jerk reaction in the first one. He's like, let's burn their fucking house down. Like he always wants to burn somebody's fucking shit down. You know. We're gonna change the fucking hotel to hot oral sex. Oh. But watching this the other night, this is one of those movies that like you can just sit down, relax to. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. You're chill for an hour and 20 minutes or however long this movie is. I tried looking at it before I started this. I think it's like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm sure. I don't know. It doesn't say on the back of the DVD here. I have the DVD right next to me. You know, the original DVD. I'm pretty sure like the box set would have it on the back, but and I almost went and got that DVD because I love the manager's like accent. The hotel manager's accent, like, oh, thank God for my little babies. It's party time. I love her. Here we go. We got the No 115 song. And this is like one of the clips that you usually see like floating around on Facebook. You know, those random fucking movie clips you usually see. This is usually the one that pops up from this movie. Now, I will say, as much as I do like this song and everything, the first one has it. You know, that one I think I have committed to fucking memory. What kills me is that, like, okay, they set up this whole music performance. They tricked people in with hot oral sex. Why did the Alpha Betas even stay around for this song? You know, you figured they'd be like, fuck this, we're leaving. But, like, no, they stuck around for the whole fucking song. They're like, no, we gotta see this. We gotta see this, fam. You know? And believe it or not, Timothy Busfield actually does play the violin. You know, it's not just something for the movie. He actually does play the violin. You know, there it is. And the violin always sounds good. Like I love the riff in the first one. That dun 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 dun. You know. And here's Stewart here. Which you know, I get why they enlisted his help because you know he was fired from the hotel and everything. But like, I don't know, he feels kind of shoehorned in here. Because is he on the fucking island later? Is he? I think he is. Yeah. He is. I couldn't name another fucking Larry B. Scott movie other than these two and fucking, you know, Karate Kid. Is he in 3 and 4? I don't think he is in 3 and 4, is he? I don't think he is. I think he makes a cameo in 4. I don't know. Let me rock a wiki on that. Hold on. Because I'm kind of curious if he's in these. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not, though. Because, like, I don't recall him being in there. Larry B. Scott. Let's see. Yeah, it stops after 2. So I'm pretty sure he's not in them. Because, like, I don't remember him in 3. Because I think only Booger's the only one. Is one of the. Him and Lewis are, like, the main two that are in all 4 of them. Because the 4th one was, like, a backdoor pilot to Booger's own TV show. Obviously, that didn't work out. Because there is no Booger TV show. Oh, I forgot he was in Space Camp. Yeah. Oh, he was in Revenge of the Nerds 3. Oh, and 4. Okay, he was in all of them. Okay. I stand corrected. I just don't remember him in 3 and 4. Okay. Here we go. We got the whole no on 15. On 15. No on 15. No on 15. See, again, I don't know why the Alpha Betas just, you know, stayed and hung out and shit. I get why. See, there's the Alpha Betas. You know, like they're like son of a bitch. You know, big old balloon floating to the sky. No 115. You know, but see, and there's their table now. You know, like something must have happened where they got a table or something. You know. And here comes the old switcheroo here. See, it's funny that they have like the Adams chapter of Lambda Lambda Lambda. I guess they have like multiple chapters because there is another Lambda 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 group there. You know, we see them later. You know, at the end of the movie and shit. See, he waves to him and everything. See, and they're like, "Yeah, get out of here." They don't even care about him and shit. But then later on, I guess because you know brotherhood, I guess. You know. And there's the setup for the other crux of this movie, I guess. Lewis showing how. I love Lamar. Lamar just waving at him because he did that simple little wave at him and everything. So good. Roll Tide. All in favor? And then the ruse begins because the Alpha Betas are going to start you know, letting the Landas into their private VIP suite and letting them use the car and all good stuff there. I never noticed that. Lewis looked behind the door like, are they waiting to jump us? I never noticed that until just now. Oh, that was great. I never fucking noticed that. Like, Lewis poked his head behind the door like, are they waiting to jump us? Like, that was fantastic. Oh my god. See, I'm still learning shit about this movie. The movie came out like what, 35 years ago? 40? This is like a dream. Nah, if I were dreaming, I'd have a boner. Now we're back to Snotty teaching Booger how to hock a loogie here. See, there's a chicken just right on top of the fucking phone. Oh, I forgot about this scene with Gilbert. Oh, there's a picture of Whistler's mother in the background there. Maybe a Bean might be a good one for one of these unnecessary commentaries. Um, that chicken on top of the fucking phone, dude. It's just chilling on top of the phone. Like, what's up? Here we go. He's concentrating all of his power. You hear the fly buzzing around, and no more fly. The way James Hong is like, or Snotty, is holding this cigarette is like bizarre to me. Typically, you see people hold a cigarette like, between their index and their middle finger, and I'm holding a pen like y'all can fucking see me. But like he's holding it in a way like I don't know, it's like you would hold chopsticks almost. Like he's holding like a single chopstick, and that's the way he's smoking this cigarette. It's I don't know. I wouldn't say it's bizarre, but it's I don't know. It's not something you see every day. And they're gonna send Sunny out with these two lovely ladies to set up the nerds. Because they just invoked this clause that any fraternity that gets caught doing anything illegal will have their charter revoked and removed. So now they are going to set up the nerds to do something illegal and get them out. See, like, he just looks at. Why does this girl still work here at this point? Why hasn't she fucking quit? It just doesn't make sense at this point. You know? Like, if the slap on the ass didn't do it, then, like, I don't know what would. Like, he's like, just do your job. Like, if somebody just told me to do my fucking job, like, that's a trigger with me. Like, if you tell me, like, just do your job, like, I'd be like, listen here, fuckface. Okay? Sunny and the two other ladies coming over. Here's another fucking great gag. They're all like they huddle together to talk, and I think Wormser has the great line. They're all drinking alcoholic drinks except for fucking Poindexter drinking milk. Find out how long they've been listening. Another great. Sunny is clueless as to what the plan is, but the other two girls know what it is. You know. Oh, and there's Booger. You want to get funky or what, man? It's like he comes to my lives or something, man. I'm like, you want to get funky? You know? Why don't you take me to Funky Town? I believe Devo did a lot of the music for the soundtrack, if I'm not mistaken. There's Worms. Wormser was like hugging all over that girl in the back seat and shit, and like he's allegedly 15 in this movie. You know, Booker is wearing a smiley face shirt with like a bullet hole through the head and everything. That shirt also appears in the movie Titanic. Fun fact. Fun fact. How is this not fucking creepy? Like Lewis is just sitting there fucking staring at Sonny, you know, until like Sonny's just like, "Hey, can you rub some of this lotion on me?" I mean, like, okay, I guess. Again, he has a woman. He has Betty. Yet he's just like staring at this woman. Again, I guess it's okay to look but not touch. But like, damn, dude, bring it down one, man. You know, look out of the corner of your eye. Use your peripherals or some shit, dude. Like, fuck, man. I mean, like, homeboy had a fucking front row seat looking at her, and she was just bathing in the sun, just soaking it in and shit. And he's just sitting there, staring. Like, damn, dude. Don't get me wrong, man. I see some pretty ladies on a beach or something like that, man. Like, I'm not just gonna sit and fucking stare at them. Don't get me wrong. I use my peripherals and shit, man. Stare out the side of your eye and shit, man. Come on, man. Especially when you have a woman. You know? You packed her picture in the fucking beginning of the movie. So you're trying to pick her up now, like, oh, you must date everybody. Like, get out of town. Like, dude. Again, the whole reason the actress that played Betty did not want to come back was because her character cheated. So you have Lewis do it? Like, I don't know. And Lewis finds out that, like, she's not dumb. Mm. Sorry, I got caught watching the movie there for a second. And here's where Sonny is clued in on the plan here. Don't worry, we'll be gone by the time they get back. Now they're using Roger's car. Um, I don't understand why they picked this song to sing. They're going up the street to get beer. You know, if they were going to sing bottles of beer along, why'd they start at like 4 billion, whatever they're counting on? You know, you figure they would pick a lower number. John's Eating Place. If I ever open a restaurant, that's what I'm going to name it. I'm going to name it Will's Eating Place. You know, assuming everybody's in college, like you would assume that Lamar, Lewis, Poindexter, and or Booger are all over the age of 21. So why did Wormser need to use a fake ID? You know, busted. Right away, just Booger drops everything and puts his hands up. I actually knew somebody who did that one time. Like, here's a story that's not movie related, but me and some buddies, we lit a firecracker at a car wash, and 3 minutes later, a cop pulled up, and without the cop even saying anything, my buddy, who wasn't Justice, he literally took everything out of his pockets, threw it on the hood of the car, and put his hands on the car. And I was like, son of a bitch, dude. Like, how many times has this happened to you? You know? That's what Booger did. Booger just put his hands up like, fuck. He just dropped everything and said, fuck it. And this was the 80s, so I guess, like, I could buy the cop fucking, like, I could buy the cop saying, like, oh, no, according to your ID, you're not 15. You know? And what kind of jail cell is it? I guess, again, it was the 80s. So, because I'm like, what kind of jail cell has, like, a chessboard in there? And, playing cards are no surprise. But the chessboard, and there's an ashtray. There's checkers in the background. The TV and the cards don't bother me. Or don't surprise me, I mean. But, like, the chessboard, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you cannot get a chessboard in jail these days. You know, I've always kind of wondered, like, what triggered this guy. Is it just him fucking being a dick in jail, or is it just like, you know, the mentality of just like, all right, you know, fucking, I'm just gonna go fuck with him just because, you know, because like he was just sitting there playing. They were playing chess. He was playing cards, and then now he's screaming butt face, and like he had his boys behind him too. But then he's like, all right, we're all just gonna go sit down and keep playing cards. All right. He disassociated too because he had no idea that he did it. You know. They just locked up these guys for no reason for false accusation, and they are excited as fuck. They are sociopaths. Wearing a White Castle apron. Did they have White Castles in fucking Florida at the time? I mean, like they were pretty fucking regional. You know, like it was mainly a fucking Midwest type of thing. So I'm kind of fucking amazed that Stewart's wearing a White Castle fucking apron because like I'm kind of shocked they're in Florida at the time, especially Fort Lauderdale. On top of all that, you know, and now they reveal what they now Roger and the Alpha Betas reveal what they did to um, the nerds here. You know, I'm always kind of been kind of curious, like how did Ogre end up in Fort Lauderdale and none of the other Alpha Betas? Like how come Stan Gable didn't end up there? You know, anything like that. I'm always kind of curious. See, and just Stewart landed in the pool. They threw him off I don't know, a pretty high balcony. I don't know how many floors up, but just think if like he didn't land in the pool. What if he landed on the concrete? Not only did they have 5 people arrested under false pretenses, but then I think they could get attempted murder for that. Because what if he didn't land in the pool? If he landed on the concrete, he's dead. You know? Yeah. It's a problem that won't go away, just like my crabs. You know, that's easily fucking fixable, I'm pretty sure. Even though it's 1980 fucking 6, but here, okay. Lewis comes out of jail. He's like, "So long, suckers!" And fucking, he sees Stewart, and he's all happy and everything. And the second he sees this fucking girl, his whole mood fucking changes. Like, I can understand being mad at her, but like, his whole fucking mood changes, man. See, he's like, it doesn't matter. They'll just find another way to fuck with us. Like, he gave up hope the second he saw that girl. The second he saw those baby blues, man. She's like, I didn't know. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Here's a brilliant idea. They just bailed the nerds out of jail. Stewart, Sonny, all the nerds, everything. They're outside the jail having this conversation. And the brilliant fucking idea from the Alpha Betas is to stage a kidnapping outside the jail. You know, like okay, let's commit another fucking crime. This time outside the jail. You know, gotta admit. And that shot right there, that is actually the establishing shot for Gilligan's Island. Fun fact. You know, whenever you see the establishing shot for Gilligan's Island, it was that shot right there too. They're trying to fucking play reverse psychology with Booger there. They just started hucking him into the ocean. And again, why would they spare Sonny? Like they kidnapped Sonny along with these guys, but they were gonna like bring Sonny back. See, again, I don't understand their motivation with her. You know, they're like, oh, we're gonna spare her, and then like she doesn't quit this fucking job. Like oh god, I don't know. This is one confusing character to me. But even she's like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just gonna join them. And we're about to see the slow turn of Ogre here. And I like how this is all it took for Roger was to get rid of Ogre. To be fair though, he did try and like calmly tell him like, hey, listen, fucker, we can't tell everybody, you know. Secret my ass. And just like that, they were just like, get out of here. And of all people to go back and get him, it was fucking Wormser. Nobody gave a shit. Hey guys, Ogre's drowning. They did not give a damn. Which, I mean, to be fair, I'd probably be the same way. Considering what happened to me in the first movie, if I heard Ogre's drowning, I wouldn't give a shit either. I'd be sitting there right there on the beach with them, you know. But Wormser apparently has a heart. You know, he takes them to shore, but it leads to another great moment coming up here because Ogre slowly but surely, you know, becomes friends with them, and there's a great moment coming up that really makes me laugh. You know? Oh, this one right here too. Like, thank you, and then he sees the people on the beach, and then let me go, you prude. I made it this far. Salutation. The name of the boat. Oh. See, in the first movie, Lamar and Wormser were really like buddies and shit. In this movie, it's not really coming across that much, but maybe because he's older, you know. See, Ogre's like, fuck this. Now they're stuck on an island. See, now Lewis is losing it. Because at this point, I think. See, this is the point where I think it's fair for Lewis to lose it. You know, outside the police station earlier when they did it, I don't think was the right spot. When he was just like, once he saw the girl and he just lost all hope, I was just like, all right, I think you're fucking giving up a little too fast here. You know? But here, I think it's perfect. I mean, you were kidnapped, taken to an island, thrown off a boat. I think that was fair at this point. But I think outside the police station was not it. You know, I think you're jumping ahead a little bit, jumping to conclusions a little too soon there. You know, Booger's already accepted the fact that they're stuck there. You know, I kind of want a shirt like that. You know, the bullet, the smiley face, and the bush. We got bush, but it's not that bush. It's weed. Just randomly growing on an island. And here's the part I'm talking about, man. They figured out how to smoke this weed on the island. Sunny's been fucking ousted by them. She just wants to get warm by the fire. Ogre's just sitting over there. Everybody's like, sure, sit down, except for Lewis. Lewis is like, what the fuck? The look Lewis gives here is haunting. Before he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. You know? Does she smoke it? Ah, I didn't notice that she smoked it. I always smoke it. See, here we go. Ogre's like, hey, hey. Who, me? Ogre's so good, man. Especially towards the end of this movie, he gets like really fucking good. You know. You don't mind? Oh man. Here we go. They get all four of them doing like their little high moment and everything, uh, and all Ogre can add to this fucking conversation because he's not smart like them, but he felt like he needed to fucking add something to this conversation, and like this was the only thing he could fucking add, you know, like what if CAT really spelled dog, like he did, he just wanted to fucking be included. First he just wanted to get some weed, and now he just wanted to be included, you know. uh, Dog. They didn't know how to take that, but they kind of went with it. They're like, all right. That's heavy, Ogre. Yeah. Oh man. I don't think does Ogre show up in the third one. I don't think he does. Let me see here. Revenge of the Nerds 3. I don't think he is, to be honest. Well, let's see here. I'm not seeing him listed on here. Shy McBride's in the fucking third one? I didn't know that. I'm looking here. Let me just look up Donald Gibb. Might be easier. Donald Gibb. And here we go. We got Gilbert's last scene here. He appears as I guess a Star Wars-like apparition to Lewis here. But let's see. Is he in the third one? Let's see. Let me scroll down. Oh, he's in the fourth one as Ogre, but he is not in the third one. Yeah. He's in the fourth one, but not the third. Interesting. Okay. I believe it was the three nighty girls from earlier. And this is the final scene, like I said, with Gilbert here. And, at the time, Star Wars was owned by 20th Century Fox, so it was an easy thing for them to parody. They had it because George Lucas, that's something unknown about George Lucas. George Lucas was very okay with you parodying in Star Wars. He was A-okay with it. He had a very great sense of humor when it came to parodies and everything. Um, so I take it that this was no exception either. Gilbert hyping him up for I wouldn't say the final battle, but the finale, I guess would be a better way to put it. This is an important dream. Exactly. She doesn't like you for who you are. Well, fuck, it shouldn't even matter, dude. You have a girlfriend. Like, it shouldn't matter if fucking Sonny likes you for who you are or who you're not are and shit. You have a fucking girlfriend. Was the Betty picture there just for fan service? I guess because now that I'm watching this for unnecessary commentary, it's really starting to fucking bother me that that once I read that little tidbit, I'm just like fuck. Now that Lewis is like schmoozing fucking Sonny here, I'm just like what the fuck, you know. You wake up. See, and if I did a series a long time ago called Game On, and like I kind of took that from here, like now's the part where you wake up. They never get that high five. I think except on the poster. In the poster, them doing a high five in the first movie. I don't know. I don't remember. Oh wait, it's right here in front of me. No, they're not. They have their arms raised. I forgot. Now he's gonna rally the troops here. He hit everybody except for Ogre. Like he did not go over there and be like, Ogre, get up. He asked for Sonny's forgiveness. Mm-hmm. See, right there, he says 10 miles away, and then I think later, just in a few minutes, I think Poindexter clearly says they're 26 miles away from the southernmost tip of Florida. So, little, continuity error there, but. Enough of the hugging. Let's go kill him. See, I think right here. Ogre. 42 point, yeah, 42 miles, he said. But clearly Lewis just said 10 miles away where, I don't know. See, this is some shit I couldn't figure out. This latitude and longitude thing. We find out that they're on a general's island where he left a bunch of weapons and all that jazz there, you know. And here comes I guess, it's funny that they had that Gilligan's Island establishing shot because we get the Gilligan's Island type of moment here because Poindexter, is like, all right, let me get some coconuts here and fucking, I can build a fucking metal detector, which, that was set up earlier um, in the scene where he had a metal detector, you know. But like, some of the stuff I can buy that they found on the island, but like some of this stuff, I'm like, there's no way he made this up. So you can ogre, you can make the thing, but you can't carry it. You know. Again, I guess this is just one of those things where you really have to suspend your disbelief because, like, I don't buy that they could have made this. You know, there's a Rolling Rock can, a gallon of water, the bamboo I buy, the coconuts I buy. They found a speaker. Apparently, there's like a speaker on this thing. Like, what the hell? And they found it. Poindexter has like the best screams. I think in the first movie, like Poindexter does a scream that is just fucking just priceless. It's really good. Grenade. What are they drinking? Like, why would you drink anything you find down there? Regardless if it's alcohol or not, and it stays good for a long time, but still. I would not drink anything I found in that fucking bunker. And they're about to vote out the Adams College out of the charter here because they were arrested for Grand Theft Auto. You know, here's a good question: like, why were they loading up with bullets and fucking grenades? Were they really gonna come in here and just start shooting up the fucking place? Was this like was that really gonna be their answer? Because they come driving in on a tank, which okay, that's that makes their point. Like hey fuckers, we're but like they were laced up with fucking bullets. There's fucking bullet. I don't know what they're called, but the bullets that wrap around your body and shit. Um, uh, they had grenades on. They had fucking helmets on. Look, was that really the fucking, you know? And plus, they were on an island. So where did fucking Sunny find a fucking bikini? You know? Yep, there's the couple again, right there on the beach, just chilling, eating some lobster and shit. And there's the tank. Of all places for that tank to go, that's where a tank with wheels, mind you. Oh, what's that noise? It's a fucking tank. See again, they were on an island, and Poindexter had enough time to spike his hair with some product. Fucking Sonny was able to find a camouflage bikini top, um, and bottoms for that matter. Wormser found a corn pipe. Like the shit they found in this bunker is really, fuck. They could have just lived on the fucking island. Oh man, such a good fucking, such a good movie. Now they're driving it out to the pool. Good thing it floats too, you know. But again, like, was that the plan to just go in there and yeah, Lewis is carrying a fucking machine gun. Oh no, not Lewis. Booger is. Like, were they just gonna go in there and just start blasting because they were gonna get kicked out of the charter? Like, damn, dude. It ain't that serious, bro. See, and there's the other lambdas right there. See, he just said, like, do the lambdas have anything to say to, see, here are the other lambdas. They're like, nah. But he just said, like, do the lambdas have anything to say in their defense? And now he's just like, no, you don't get to say anything. I'm like, what the hell? You just asked if they had, you know, whatever. What'd you guys do to Ogre? He's hiding in there. How come he didn't get any fucking like camouflage gear, man? He's still wearing his gear from when he was thrown off the island and everything. Everybody else geared up, man. They got all camouflage gear. They all found matching gear that fits them on this island. They're all wearing green. This is where Ogre realizes that we're all fucking different, you know? He attacked everybody except for Poindexter. And Sonny reveals that it was all a frame job, you know? This sounds kind of like the Matilda speech. Like, you know why you're not going to do anything? Because I'm strong and you're weak. You know, it kind of sounds like that scene in Matilda where it's just like, I'm big, you're weak. Or I'm big, you're small. You know, I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm right, you're wrong. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. There is something I can do about it. Booger with the cigar in his mouth is just such a fucking. It's such a mood. I think is what the kids would say. It's such a mood. You know. Bam! Punches him square in the fucking face. And that's what turns Ogre. Like, just seeing Roger just get punched out is like all they needed to see to be like, wow, Roger is kind of a dick. You know? Saying there it is, there's the kiss between Sonny and fucking Lewis. And like everybody's just like, yeah. You know, Booger's just like, you stud you. I'm like, fuck you. See, like Ogre's, he's torn. He's like, fuck, should I help Roger or should I join the group here? And we are back at the hot oral sex motel. And they are initiating the newest member of Lambda Lambda Lambda, who they set up to be Lewis, but it is actually Ogre. Ogre, now part of Lambda Lambda Lambda. They're not really back at the hot oral sex hotel. They're back at the Lambda house. They took the hot oral sex sign as a memento. And Gilbert has recovered from his broken leg at this point, I believe. I don't think his broken leg is here, is it? Snotty has come back too, apparently. He's also a Lambda, apparently. He has the Lambda fucking moniker on his shirt or robe or whatever. Oh yeah, he still has a broken leg. Okay, yeah, you can see it. See again, where are the rest of the nerds at? Now, as much as I like this story arc with Ogre and everything, the only part I don't buy is him becoming a Lambda. That's the only part I don't buy. Like, I could buy him, like, being friends with the nerds after this whole thing and him getting along with them, but, like, I don't buy him becoming a Lambda. That's the only thing I don't buy out of this whole thing. You know, it's a funny gag for the end of the movie, but, yeah, that's the only thing I don't buy. I think it was just one big setup so he could get this laugh in at the end, you know? Oh, and they finally got that high five there. There it is. And we're uh, back to paradise there as the credits play with stills from the movies. And there you go. That is Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise. I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Unnecessary Commentary. If there's any movies that you would like to hear for Unnecessary Commentary, please leave them in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Until next time, I am the artist, and remember, be breezy.